Hey guys, today we're talking about the Netflix original movie Bandersnatch, and this is the first movie that actually lets us control what happens in the movie. So we're in the driver's seat, we're in control. Or are we? Because after watching Bandersnatch and getting through multiple scenarios, I started to think, are we in control or is Bandersnatch controlling us? And now this is what this video is about. We're going to be explaining the movie Bandersnatch, the concept, the ideas behind it, and overall the viability of this new medium of movie watching. So let's get into it. What is Bandersnatch about? Bandersnatch essentially is a simulation type of movie. In that sense, we as the viewer are in control of the character, but in a very Black Mirror kind of way. This movie goes deeper than us being in control and controlling a simple movie and us watching the movie, because this movie takes us on diverging paths and uses different kind of concepts to ingratiate us or make us kind of understand or kind of feel at ease in controlling Stefan's life. But as the movie progressed, just like Stefan loses control, we the viewers also lose control. And then we start to look at the different variations in the movie Bandersnatch, and those variations go from different angles. For example, the main theme of the movie is control. Is Stefan in control? Are we the audience in control? What is control? Who is in control? Is Pac-Man a game that controls our lives? Are we just living in a simulation? Are there diverging timelines? There are so many different variations of what Bandersnatch tries to accomplish, but at the end of the day, it is Black Mirror, and in true Black Mirror fashion, it's all a ruse over our eyes. It's all a mirror into our own lives and our own souls. What I mean by that is, we know from Black Mirror as a whole, the Black Mirror represents the screen, and the screen, when you look at a Black Mirror, you look at the screen, what do you see? You see a reflection in that screen, and it's more so a reflection of us as characters as opposed to the control and psyche of James or Colin or any of the characters in Bandersnatch. And as we're watching the movie, there's various Easter eggs throughout the whole mythology of Black Mirror in there, the whole metaverse in Black Mirror, because we come to find out at the very end of season 4 of Black Mirror, the episode Black Museum, all the different Black Mirror seasons, all the different stories are all part of one metaverse, and they're all happening in diverging storylines or timelines. But in true Black Mirror fashion, and as they show us in Bandersnatch, it's not all that complicated. It's actually a self-reflection of the character, and in this scenario, Stefan, the main character of Bandersnatch, is not the character. We, the audience who are seemingly in control of the movie, are the true characters in this movie. Because as you're watching Bandersnatch, you have different variations. For example, one of my endings and one of the plot points that I got into was me kung fu fighting the psychologist, and that just is one of the choices that you're given. But it's not really a choice you're given, because when you're on that screen and you have the decision to make it more entertaining, you have the options of yes or fuck yeah. Those two things are not choices. Yes and fuck yeah means the exact same thing. And various other parts in Bandersnatch are that in itself. They're not real choices. We're guided. We're given different outcomes to go through. Everything has been predetermined. Just like Stefan in his life, he doesn't want to have a predetermined life, but it's all been predetermined. Let's go back to Colin. There's a pivotal scene where Colin offers you some drugs. You can accept or you can reject. If you accept, you take the drugs. However, if you reject it, he gives you the drugs anyway. So it takes that step away. And every time you try to advance your character, and every time you try to choose the right thing for Stefan, it ends up blowing up in your face. The very first time I played through the movie or watched through the movie, I made the logical choices that I personally would make, and I failed. My game was a 0%. My game wasn't selling. Stefan was miserable. He worked with a team, and it was bland and mediocre. Kind of like how life is in the sense of a whole community making life more mediocre. So Stefan decided he's going to redo it again. On the redo, things changed a little bit. Colin knew more about the book, and Stefan, the character, had to be more depraved in order to get his score up. Because as the movie progresses, it kind of rewards you for making the more depraved path. The more depraved choices you make, the darker you go into the rabbit tunnel, the more Stefan story expands and the worse his character gets and his psyche gets. However, the higher your game score goes. And if you were to choose choices that are better, beneficial, and more healthy for the character of Stefan, you tend to end the movie sooner and you tend to fail sooner. So that now is conditioning us as the viewer to choose darker paths. So do we really have a choice? Because the good choices we make end up in failure for Stefan, but the worse we choose, the farther he goes along, which ultimately ends in failure. So that strips away all the choice that we got. Like, you can't tell me to do this thing a certain way and my movie ends in 10 minutes, but the darker and more depraved things I do, the deeper and longer my story goes. And it's all super trippy, it's all meta, and it's all inside of our heads. This is the evolution of Black Mirror. Black Mirror was all about us seeing the depravity of future technologies and watching it from a distance, a safe distance, as we sit back on our television screens and we watch. However, with Bandersnatch, we're now engaged into it, and that is the bigger message of it all. Are we the ones in control, or is Netflix controlling us? Because think about it. We're all talking about Bandersnatch. We're all making choices. However, the choices they give us are already predetermined choices, and they make us fail when we choose a choice that doesn't lead us closer to the dark side. It's similar to in The Matrix, how Morpheus had the 2 pills for Neo, 1 pill for him to go back to his regular life, and 1 pill for him to enter the Matrix. Both choices were fair to say the least, right? However, if Neo chose the pill to go back to his regular life, he would still remember that he's in a simulation and the Matrix is real, therefore fucking up with his psyche. However, when Neo became the one and chose to go down that path, it still messed with his psyche. So it goes to the character of Neo, which translates to Stefan. As Stefan is being controlled by us, the good choices we make affect his psyche because he ends up a failure and a loser. The bad choices we make, he ends up a failure, a loser, and a murderer, which adds even more to that dynamic. So all in all, when it comes to Bandersnatch, it's not really an experiment on the character of Stefan. It's more an experiment on us. It's more of something that dictates what we do. We are the pawns in Black Mirror. We are the pawns of Netflix. It's a self-reflection into our souls. You who's watching this video right now are staring into a Black Mirror of your laptop, your phone, whatever it may be, and you're learning more about yourself, but you're not really learning about yourself. It's because you can see a Black Mirror, but you're not really attributing it to yourself, because you can pawn it off as that Stefan, or you can pawn this video as that's my theory, that's my explanation. This is the Bingezone's explanation on this. It's not me. It's not Joe Smo or Steven who's watching the video. It's me. But however, the deeper we dive into this depravity, the more we realize our choices are limited. Our cell phones are tracked. Our internet is tracked. Everything we do in this digital economy and this digital marketplace that we live in are all tracked and monitored. We are cogs in a system. That is what it's trying to tell us. That is the overall message of it. Because no matter what choices we make, no matter what path we go down, certain path in the movie, Stefan will reject us. There's one scene where he has to choose between biting his nails or pulling his earlobe. At first time watching, I chose to bite my nail. He resisted. When I chose to pull the earlobe, he resisted. One of the choices, it shows that Stefan is an actor in a movie and he just walks off set. All of those are showing that no matter what choices we make, none of them are satisfactory. So we have to go deeper and deeper and get more depraved. And us being humans who are consumed by this and want to know how far the rabbit hole goes, we go deeper and deeper, make different choices, make worse choices, giving us a self-reflection of who we are. Because we could just go along and make the right choices the first few times. The movie ends in 15 minutes and we know, you know what? It failed, the game didn't work, Stefan lived a good life, he's living his life, everyone's alive, and that's over. But that's not enough for us. We have to dig deeper, make him get more depraved, kill your father, kill the psychologist, deeper. And the deeper you go, the ending at the end is not even satisfactory. Like one of the farthest endings I've gotten to, it just ends and Stefan just dies on the chair. He just dies. So no matter what choice you make, the end result is the same. So why not choose a better path? Why not choose a shorter path? A path of more or less resistance, a path of less violence, and we choose a path that makes the character happy. That's not in our psyche, and that's what Black Mirror is trying to tell us. It's not who we are, it's not in our psyche, and that's not what we do. We dive deeper and get more depraved, because we want to see what happens, because we want to see how deep this rabbit hole goes. We want to see how deep and depraved Stefan can get before he finally snaps, because we want to see the light at the end of the tunnel, but there is no light. It's only a system of control. And that is the message that's being given to us. Anyway, guys, that's my thought on Bandersnatch. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of it. What was your favorite ending or your favorite choices that you made in the movie? Let me know your ideas. I'd love to hear all that feedback in the comment section below. Let me know, guys. I'm really excited because this movie really is a real tough social experiment on who and what Bandersnatch is all about, and I'd love to hear your thoughts and feedbacks in the comment section below. And guys, if you liked the video, definitely hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe button if you guys haven't already, and until next time, binge on.